Come on, baby. There we go. I am so happy to be able to finally to hit live and finally go live with my amazing guest, Rebecca Regnier. And I think I finally said that properly, right? It's just, I always think of her as Rebecca because, when you're a TV personality, everybody sort of thinks you're their best friend, even if you don't know them. And I got to know this lady. She interviewed me for my last book, and she was just so cool. And then I found her and started following her on social. She is so much fun to follow, you guys. Oh my gosh, I loved your one where you had the reel about trying to show my family this is what I was like when I was young. Doesn't anybody want to see it? And everybody's looking away, even the dog. It was so funny. Pam, thank you. I'm so glad you were patient and hung in there. I'm a little embarrassed that our technology failed it, but that was not our fault. And for once, I didn't do anything wrong, you guys. It was just technology acting
Yeah.
up. But Rebecca's been very patient, and I can hardly wait to tell you about her. So I'm going to give you the short version, and then I'm going to give you the long, impressive version of who this woman is. She is just going to blow you out of the water. So the short one, Rebecca is an author, TV show host, columnist, and video vamp. I think that's hilarious. But that's just the short version. Now, let me tell you all the really cool stuff about us. By the way, her show is called Nine. It's on 13 ABC WTVG TV in Toledo, Ohio. So if you're in that neighborhood and are wanting to watch her show, what time does that come on, Rebecca? I know I had to get up early in the morning to talk to you.
So yeah, that's early for you, but it is the 9 o'clock. It comes on at 9 Eastern time in the Toledo area. But then it's also streamed live on 13abc.com, so you can watch the live stream. But it's just a little local talk show. I've been in Toledo I was born in the Toledo area, and I've been in TV for, I hate to say it, 30 years. I started at that station in 1996, so I'm going on 30 years in TV in Toledo.
That's
Um,
amazing.
it's very nice. But like I was TV news anchor woman and reporter and all those things, the normal stuff that you see on TV. And then about 5 years ago, I retired from TV to be a full time author. And well, maybe 6 years now. And they called me and said, "Would you come back after 5 years?" And they had this really fun show for me to do where I don't have to do the stuff that is like, I don't have to go
Depressing.
to murders or snowstorms or traffic tie-ups. I just go and have fun on TV every day, and so it's been like a extra like Roman spring or whatever for me as a TV gal.
I love that. I think that's great. And Pam, you're right. I am echoing. I don't even know what to do about that. We've had so much trouble that I'm afraid if I back out and come in again, it'll be a complete disaster. I have no idea why we have echo. So is that helping? I turned the volume on my computer down. Maybe that, I don't think I'm hearing as
I'm
much
gonna try
echo
the
now.
same. I'll try to put
Apologies,
earphones
guys.
on too.
This has just not been the day for technology. And thank you for those of you who have hung in and been willing to come a little bit late to party on with us. So I'm going to give you, that's kind of part of what Rebecca has done and who she is, but there's more. There is more. And so she's also a national award winner. She's received all kinds of honors, including from the National Society of Columnists. And this is the most impressive thing of all. I love this. So you actually were awarded Citizen of the Year from your hometown for your volunteerism, for your activity, for your helping schools and fundraising for the local schools. And I just think that is just amazing. I mean, you have done a lot with your life so far, and you're still doing a lot. You're still publishing books, and you guys, she's written different kinds of books. You've written suspense, and I think it looks like your favorite thing really is the women's fiction. Am I correct on that?
Yeah, it really is. So I would say
Where'd you go? I
in the
lost you. Is
in the
everybody,
mid
please somebody tell me
2015
you're hearing
area,
Rebecca.
2014 area,
Oh,
I my
there you are.
kids were. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I just lost you for a minute, but
Okay.
I'm back.
In that time period, my youngest graduated from high school in 2012, and I knew I was going to have that empty nest sadness.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? I did so much, like you said, that Citizen of the Year. I raised so much money for that school. It was really
Oh,
I worked at the TV station and I worked for my kids' school, and but when they were going to finish high school, I knew it would hit me like a Mack truck. Like I just knew I
hmm.
was going to feel like I needed something, or my purpose was gone. So I thought, well, that's why I'm going to take care of my second dream. My first dream was being on TV as a TV news lady. My second dream was to be an author, and I thought, now's the time. So right as they were getting ready to go away to college, I started, I embarked on this fiction career of mine. And
Love
so
it.
I really, I started out with kind of, I didn't know what I was going to write or what I wanted to write. And the first foray into it, they were paranormal women's fiction, they call it, or cozy, witchy cozies, those kind of
Witchy
books
cozy.
where it's, like Bewitched and stuff. And
Yeah, yeah.
it's like if Jessica from Murder She Wrote had wish powers. That was kind of the idea there.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah, and so those were really fun, and that was the first thing I did as an author. And those books are still some of my favorites, but they're magical. There's a little magical element to it. And I started moving towards, I guess, more success as an author when I aligned who I was on Facebook and Instagram, all the stuff that I was doing online in video to my books, which are now my most fun thing in the world. And they're women's fiction, they're beachy. I was very inspired by people like Dorothea Benton Frank or Ellen Hildebrand, and I started writing those kind of books, and they just aligned perfectly with where I was in my life, which was, to be an empty nester, to go with that second wind, or
Mhm.
to find out that your dreams are not done just because your kids move out of the
Love
house.
that.
So I personally took that journey on to try to see what was next for me. And then in my writing, that's when it really started to take off. You know what I mean? It really started to, when all those things came together as who I was online and who I was in these books and what I was writing about. And those have been my sweet spot. So I love writing about, and all my main characters in these beach books that I write are uh, over 40, but most of them are over 50, and some of them are 70. And I just feel like that segment of the population gets a little bit ignored.
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
I decided with when you talk about, following me on socials, I do what outfits I'm wearing because I think it's hard to find outfits after 50 years old that you don't look like, that you feel comfortable in, but you don't feel like, oh, I look like 150 years old. So I
Yeah,
really, all of the things I do are about that second wind. Like, okay, second and third acts, how are we going to make it the best we can make it?
I love that. Yes, we've got, guys, we've still got some echo going here. I have no idea how to fix that. I apologize. But thank you, by the way, to all of you who have joined in while we've been chatting. And hopefully, if you miss parts, you can tune in again and hear more. But it's very fascinating hearing Rebecca talk about, yeah, there is more after, there's life after 50, and I think many of us on here are in that phase. We're not 20 anymore. We've raised our kids, and now what? And you're a good example of now what. There's always been now what in your life. Started as a news anchor. Was that something you wanted to do as a child?
Yeah, actually, I went back to a school to do a career day, and my seventh grade English teacher said, "Hey, look what you wrote when you were in the seventh grade." And literally, it was an essay about I want to be a broadcast journalist.
Wow. That is so cool.
So that I
And
knew, I knew I was a good talker, and I knew I was one of these people
it's
that
a
was good
gift.
at a deadline. You know what I mean? I knew that I wouldn't, when I had a deadline, I didn't lose it. I was fueled by it, and that's another kind of important characteristic to have if you're going into TV journalism. You're always on deadline. It's always pressure,
Mhm,
and I
mhm.
liked that about it. So I knew I was going to do something like that. I was presenting, when people say their biggest fear is to speak in front of people, I didn't really have that. I mean, I would be keyed up to have a speech or a play or whatever, but I wasn't afraid. I was excited for it. So I knew that that
Yeah.
was somewhat unique. Not everybody, it's different now. Everybody has a camera and you can all kind of get comfortable in front of a camera. But at the time, that was kind of a fairly unique, I knew, feeling, is to know that you could do that as a job. So that was where I started. My first job ever was in college for ESPN. So I did a live football
Wow.
sideline reporter thing. That was the first thing I ever did. And literally never had been on TV before, and I was live on national television.
That
So
is
I felt
amazing.
like, okay, I'm in the right spot. Like I am in the right wheelhouse. So, and it's a great career. It was great. It was a dream come true. But then, like I said, right when I got to a point where I wanted to try that next thing. It's really easy to stay in one lane, and you get older, you don't know how long people are going to want to watch you on TV, or I don't know. I just thought I want to pursue all the things that I had wanted to do when I was a kid before it's too late. So I was in my 40s. I got a little fuzzy on me. I was in my 40s when I started publishing as an author. But prior to that, like my other thing was enjoying Dave Barry and Irma
Oh,
Bombeck.
yeah.
So while I was still a TV news reporter and anchor, I started a humor column for a newspaper. And so that gave me, kind of an entree into writing versus presenting on television. And I've had some really terrific experiences that way. I present to other authors on how to, be on video.
Oh,
Um,
I love that.
yes, and I've done that for there's this thing called the Irma Bombeck Humor Writers Workshop. So I've been on the faculty there
I
and
didn't know there was a,
showing.
that's
Yeah,
cool.
and that was another dream. Irma Bombeck. I was like the humor writer of the month for them one year. Those kind of things are like just tickle me, right?
Oh, that's very
Um,
cool.
so yeah, the humor column started my like, okay, I can write. This can also be something that I do. And then again, once the kids got to a point where I wasn't, at every football game and wrestling meet and band concert, I realized I got time. I can write a novel now.
I love it. That's great. By the way, Pam said, thank you for writing about older ladies. And I think she's right. Right now, so much of the fiction is focused on younger women, which is great because we have a whole batch of younger women coming up as readers. But those of us who are over 40 still want to be represented. So I think it's great that you're doing that.
Thank you. Yeah, I just feel like, well, I mean, as part of the TV thing, when they called me back and said, "Would you like to try this other show?" I said, "I'm not going to cover my gray hair. Are you guys okay with that?" And they're like, "Okay." I'm like,
That's
all right.
great. I love it.
But yeah, I felt like my books that were kind of the magical books. My idea there, which I think it kind of spurred the whole series, was that if you have magical powers, you don't get them when you're a 10-year-old kid like Harry Potter, because that would be a disaster. You get
You
them.
don't?
No, you get them when you're in menopause. You get your magical powers come when those hot flashes start, because
I love it.
then you have the ability and maturity to use those magical powers. That was what my premise was for those books.
I love that. That's great. Oh my gosh. Oh, my last name is both. Well, guys, I'm sorry my name is missing something on the screen, but y'all know who I am, so we're not going to worry about that. We had enough issues today, but thanks for pointing that out. It's like, oh, and by the way, guys, I apologize for the pile of Kleenex. It is beautiful right now in the Pacific Northwest, and it is allergy season. And somewhere along the way, I have developed allergies. I'm just like a faucet with legs.
I'm
So
with you. I
I
was just gonna
apologize.
say the
Look,
same.
Kleenex.
My eyes were like this before we came on. I thought, oh great, my eyes are itching because the allergies are starting. So even though I'm not in the Pacific Northwest, I'm in the same boat with you. Allergies are firing up here in Michigan.
Isn't that the truth? Oh, by the way, I love Kathy says we've earned our gray hair. I
Oh
think
right,
you're right.
wisdom highlights, sister.
Oh, that's a great way to call it. Well, I want to circle back then. I know you said that Dorothea Benton Frank, she was a great writer, was an influence on you, but you were also reading as a child. Who were you reading when you were a kid?
I was an avid reader as a child. The first book that I ever read that wasn't a little kid book, other than the Nancy Drew type thing, which I loved, was A Wrinkle in Time.
Ah,
I mean, I remember reading that in like the fifth grade, and it was a life changing moment where, oh, I'm doing this for fun, right? I love this. And later in life, I got a note from her when she was still alive, which was really nice. I wrote her as an adult saying how impactful she was. She
oh,
had her
that's
niece,
so
had
cool.
her, yeah, it was quite something. But I read that, but then I quickly moved on, like many of the Gen X women of my era, to Judy Blume, And then of course Flowers in the Attic and all of that VC Andrews stuff, right? Like when they say, oh, these kids today shouldn't read this or that, I'm like, oh my gosh, what we were reading back in the 80s when I was a kid.
I never read V.C. Andrews, but they were scary books, right?
Well, they're very dark. I mean, they're bizarre. Okay, if you try to describe the plot now, you'd be like, huh? But in my era, this was in the early, 1980, 81. Those books were all the little kid. Every fifth grade and sixth grade girl was reading those books. So I
Huh.
read all those, and then I kind of moved on. In high school, I was a huge Anne Rice fan. I loved all that paranormal stuff. Um, I would say, Diana Gabaldon, all of those
Oh
were
yeah.
that extra something, magical element. But when I read Dorothea Benton Frank, I was in my 30s at this point, and I think I read Plantation, or maybe I forget which one, whatever her first one was. I thought, oh, her voice, I love her voice, and although she's a little bit older than me, I was like, I could see a path, because she had sort of done, if you look at her bio, she kind
Yeah.
of had a life and was doing all these things, and
Hmm.
fundraising, and a mom, and she then came to the writing, a little bit later, and that gave me hope. You know what I mean? It made me think,
Yeah.
okay, all right, I've got something to say. So that for sure made me feel like I could do it. And then, yeah, I mean, as an adult, I'm an avid reader now. You know what I mean? It's just like, and I'm not just this kind of a reader. Like I just have to read that, or I like to kind of the broad spectrum. When I was, I love all Stephen King, right? But when it comes to like women's fiction, it was Ellen Hildebrand, it was Dorothea Benton Frank, it's Christy Woodson Harvey these
Oh
days,
yeah.
who is like the sweetest person. I got to interview her. One of the
Oh.
greatest things that I get to do for my job is interview authors. One of the when they said, "Would you come back and do this show?" I said, "Okay, but I want to interview authors. I want to interview authors all over the place." A lot of times in local news, it's just the local writers. I'm like, no, no, it's a global world now, and I'm like, I want authors on every couple of days. So getting to meet and talk to like, I just the list of authors I've gotten to talk to has been such a joy for me to do.
That's
So yeah,
great.
that was one of the kind of conditions. I'm not going to bleach my hair anymore, and I want to talk to authors on this show.
I hear you. I hear you. This is post chemo color for me, and I thought, you know what? Some hair is better than no hair, and white hair is better than bald. So I am very happy to sell
I
hair.
love it. I love it. I think, and I get people. Well, two things. People stop me all the time and ask me about, how did I transition? And when I see a woman with her natural white, and again, if you want to dye your hair, I think everyone should do whatever makes them feel good.
Absolutely.
I am
Yeah.
not against doing all that stuff. But when I do see a woman who has ditched the dye or the bleach, I always say something, and they always appreciate it, because it is like, our society is definitely kind of tilted away from that. You're supposed to try to keep your, no wrinkles and no this and no that. And it's like, no, that's what makes you gorgeous. So anytime I see a woman with the natural gray or white hair, I'm like, you go, sister. I love it.
Well, and there comes a point, or there did for me, because I really did miss my brown hair. I felt like I aged 10 years overnight. But I've been fibbing about my age for so long. And I had grandkids by now, and nobody was going to believe I was 39 anymore. So it's like, just tell the truth, Sheila.
See, you got it wrong. Always age yourself. Tell everyone you're 900 years old, and they're gonna be like, you look great.
How did you guess? How did you guess I was that old? Anyway, let's move on and talk a little bit more about your books. You've written several, of course, as you said, in different genres, but I do believe you had a book out just recently, didn't you?
I did. So I mostly write in series. I find that I have a lot of women who, they want to do 5 books or 10 books in a series. So I right
Mhm.
now have 2 series out. I had it set up for my old camera, but I have 2 series out. One is called the Summer Cottage Novels, and the first one is
Love that.
Sandbar Sisters. And that has 5 books, and I just announced we're doing a Christmas book. So
Oh,
this series was
yay!
done like a year ago, and we're just doing a Christmas book. So I'm excited about that.
Is
And
that
then the
coming out this
series that I'm
Christmas,
followed up
Rebecca?
with is called their Gulf Side Girls is the first book, and this is based like in a fake Florida town, but like a Gulf Side town. I wind up usually coming up with settings that are very like if you've ever been to Anna Maria Island, this is that kind of a series. So that is I just came out with book 4 in that series, just like March 10th.
So hot off the presses, almost, guys. I wanted to circle back. Christmas, is your Christmas book coming out this Christmas?
This Christmas, and it's called Sandbar Christmas. And I've got a cover. I don't have a pre-order yet, but I have a cover for it, so I'm excited about that. And yeah,
Oh,
I've most both of these series are like women, like I said, in their 50 plus, who either are sisters or best friends, and
I
kind
love
of
it.
all of them looking for some second chance or second wind or second act.
I love that. I think that's great. We might have to talk again then. I've got a Christmas book out too, so we might have to do a little Christmas partying when it comes closer to when your book is released. That would be
I love that
awfully
idea.
fun. Yeah, that's exciting. There's something really special about Christmas novels, and I'm definitely going to want to read yours. That's
Well,
exciting.
it's so fun, and we're writing. I'll be writing it here as it gets warm, and my allergies are.
Yeah, I know. It's like, ho, ho, ho. Oh my gosh, that's funny. By the way, guys, those of you who have been able to hang in there with us, who were patient and joined us live, I just do want to say that I will be making Gerhard. I never do it. I don't want to be responsible for drawing a name, but my other half will be drawing a name, and some lucky winner is going to win one of Rebecca's books tonight. So I appreciate you all hanging in here with us and giving your comments. And if you have a question for Rebecca, feel free to post it so that I can ask her before we let her go. It's a little later where she is, so I don't want to keep her on for hours. But we, of course, do want to know every possible thing we can find out about her. Because is she cool or what, you guys? I just had a feeling you were going to really enjoy talking with this woman. I think she's so inspiring.
Well,
But
thank you.
let's circle back to the writing then, the getting the ideas. Everybody asks this, and it's your turn for it to be asked. Do your ideas just pop into your head, or do certain things inspire you?
Usually the ideas pop into my head. What usually inspires me is just funny stories that happen. You know what I mean? Like things that I'm someone who's always looking for a good story to tell, a funny punchline to do, and so that's kind of the first inspiration for me. But my sister and husband are also novelists,
Oh,
and my
wow.
yeah, my sister and I laughed that really it all started when we played Barbies as children. Like we had the
Oh,
most bizarre Barbie storylines and elaborate Barbie storylines. So we laughed that that's kind of the natural progression is writing novels because of our Barbie playing storylines were so good.
I love it. Who all had Barbies when you were a kid? I bet a lot of us here had Barbies.
For
I
sure.
had, I really wanted the blonde Barbie with the ponytail, and my mom tried, but at the time when I was playing with Barbies, it was like frantic. I gotta find a Barbie, gotta find a Barbie, and mom tried, but blonde Barbie sold out, so I got redheaded bubble Barbie, which was not quite what I wanted, but I
Oh,
grew to love her. I grew to love bubble red Barbie, but really wanted blonde Barbie. Oh.
yeah, my sister and I were Barbie, Barbie, Barbie. But yeah, so my sister, she's a novelist and she writes legal thrillers, and so does my husband. So yeah,
Oh,
I would
cool.
say the original ideas came from my sister and I. We just had these elaborate fantasy lives that we kind of played out with our Barbies. These days, it's just how it is. Anytime my first book series, the Sandbar Sisters, it's set in a place called Irish Hills, and a lot of people don't know that that's a real place in
Oh,
Michigan. There's
huh.
this Everyone kind of knows northern Michigan and Lake Michigan, but there is a smaller county kind of in southern Michigan, and there's a chain of lakes there, and they're called the Irish Hills. And so my first series for women's fiction is set in the Irish Hills, and that for sure, I grew up going to the lakes there when I was a kid. My aunt had a really nice cottage there. So when I started writing books, there was a gift shop there, and one of my friends had a gift shop that she owned, and it was kind of she opened it in her later in life, and I was signing the witchy kind of books at her store, and I was sitting there going, "Wait a minute, this is a story. This woman is 50. She's opened this gift shop. We're living in these lake towns, and she just was having this like renaissance in her life." And I thought, wait a second, this is my next series.
Oh, I love
And
that.
so yeah, that was that her she and she's this she's like, I think she's probably 60 now, but she's just gorgeous and raven haired, and you're like, oh, she just looks like the main character of a book, and that's got my wheels turning.
Oh, that's just so fun. Isn't that fun to hear where authors get some of their ideas? You just never know where an idea is going to pop
For sure.
at you from. Frances says her aunt worked in a doll factory. Now that's pretty cool.
Well,
Did you work
very.
for doll clothes? I guess not. Pam would like to know, what is the Irish Hills series called?
The Irish Hills series is called Summer Cottage Novels, and the first one, all you have to do is type in Sandbar Sisters in your Amazon search, and that one is, there's audiobooks for the whole thing. It's you can get audio, paperback, or ebook. But start with Amazon, and you should be able to find it.
Okay, awesome. That's great. I know you guys are going to want to check out her books. I would like to ask you one more question before I go and blow my nose some more and wish my allergies would stop.
You should
Uh,
get some Flonase. That's a really good
it's
inhaler.
like, "Ah, I'm
I'm
afraid to
not a
take
doctor, but that's the inhaler I use,
I
Flonase.
should try it. I'm afraid to take the allergy pills because, of course, now they're saying it can hurt your brain, and I'm trying to preserve what few brain cells I have left, so I'm afraid to
I'm
take
with you.
anything. But anyway, oh, by the way, Kelly, I see you came in late. Thanks for joining us. Glad you were able to make it the end part of this. But so let's close out with some pearls of wisdom from Rebecca. What words of encouragement would you have for women who would feel like, well, doggone, I'm 40 or 50, I'm halfway through, and I don't know what I'm doing and where I'm going. And do you have any, you've done so many things. What would be your words of encouragement for some of us who are about to start our second act?
Okay, a couple of things. And number one is don't be afraid to be bad at something.
Oh, that's good.
The older that we get, the more we get sort of stuck in that, oh, I couldn't do that because I don't know how to do that. And I will be
Hmm.
afraid that I'm going to be bad at it. It's okay. The only way you get better at it is to start. And if you're bad at it, I was not afraid to be bad at this. Like, okay, I'm just gonna go.
I
So
love
that's
that.
number one. It's okay to start. And I think the key to our minds still being kind of vibrant and active is to continue to learn something. So not only are you going to be going for your dreams, let's say if it's writing, but you're also going to be helping your brain because learning a new thing is going to create all these pathways in your brain. It's going to keep you vital and it's going to keep you engaged and
Oh,
curious.
yeah.
So don't be afraid to be bad at it. That's okay if you're bad at it. But also, the clock is ticking. Start. You must start. You have no guarantees how much time you're going to have.
Boy,
Start.
so true. I love that. There's so much truth in that. Sometimes we postpone. I think, well, I have time later. Work up my courage. But if you can always start trying something new by baby steps.
Yeah.
And even if it's not, I mean, we aren't all called to be news broadcasters or influencers, or writers or concert musicians, but it's not too late to take piano lessons, to take a writing class, to take a dance class, to learn how to line dance, to
Exactly.
just get out there and try maybe one thing, or even just get bold and meet some of your neighbors that maybe you haven't met yet. Anything we do to enlarge our lives, I think, is a good thing, don't
A
you?
1000%, 1000%. And I feel like as we get older as women, I think it's kind of our responsibility to show up
Mm,
and be a part of the world and show the world what we're doing. I would
yeah.
never, when I was a younger TV reporter and anchor, I didn't do outfits of the day. I didn't, like, who cares? I was 20 years old. Of course I looked cute, right? If you
Yeah.
don't look cute when you're 20, forget it. So I was like, I didn't do all that. But as I got older with the gray hair and I, put on some weight or I have the wrinkles, I thought, you know what? This is what women look like. And they should see me doing things, me out there on TV with whatever's happening on my face, be writing books, be learning new things, all of the stuff that I'm doing more publicly because I want other women. I know so many of my friends were in that same where you get that rut, like what is left for me? What my time is over with. I already did this stuff, and I'm like, I want all of my contemporaries to see that this can be the best time. Like I am
Yes.
always telling people, look, I know emptiness seems scary to you, but it's really an opportunity. I heard someone say that it wasn't an empty nest; it was your
Oh,
free
I
bird
love
area,
that.
not empty land nest. I like that. But yeah, I
I do
feel like
too.
it's the same. It's like you get to be 20 again. I mean, you're gonna have back pain and you're gonna have to wear readers, but it's that time period where you're not carting little children around and you're not
Yeah.
kind of on their time clock anymore. And if you want to take an hour to go to the salon, you can. All of the time up until then, when I had little children or high school kids, it was always someone else's schedule, right? I
Hmm.
always was late for work and I had to be there, or I was late for the practice and I
Hmm.
had to be there, or I was late for the meeting, I had to be there. You don't have to have that constraint anymore, and it behooves you to take that time to whatever time we have left when we're not the number one person picking up the little ones from everything, to spend it on yourself. Figure
I
out,
love it.
wow, I'm going to do this and I'm going to feel good about it, and I don't have to feel guilty that I'm late for some practice because I don't have to worry about that anymore.
These are the best years of our life.
Exactly.
I love that. And it was just, I love what Nicole said. She said, perfect is an illusion, So find things we enjoy. I think that was a great comment. And somebody else said, I'm going to try my writing again. Who said that? Anyway, I
Yay.
think that was great. Just go for it.
Go for it.
Yeah, that was Francis. Go for it, Francis. Just,
You're gonna
you
feel
know,
so good. And like I would say, like with the humor writing, there's so many fun activities you can do too. Like this Irma Bombeck can this writers. It's you don't have to be like a you don't have to be Dave Barry. You can be just starting out as a humor writer or someone who wants to write their memoir or the funny stories of when your kids were growing up or whatever it is that you want to write. And you can go to this. It's every other year. You can go to this Irma Bombeck humor writers workshop and connect with other women who are in that same boat and who are writing about their lives, and you can get inspiration and you can get like, oh, here's a path forward on how to turn those experiences of your life into whatever you want it to be, whether it's a blog or a book or just get it down for your kids to read.
I love that. Oh, and Cindy says she's going to be signing up for a Tai Chi class. Yay, you.
Ooh,
That's awesome. And I think if we can find humor I mean, I'm trying to find humor in my crepey skin. I'm like, where did that come from?
I
But
know, right?
there it
Like
is.
overnight.
Oh, overnight
I
it's
my body
sprouted.
used to exfoliate itself, and now I have to do it. What?
Oh, is that maybe that's it? I need to get a firmer scrub brush. But you know what?
I'm telling you, I have so many creams and serums since I've been. I like kind of didn't care about it for the 5 years I wasn't on TV.
Oh,
I
you
could
do?
not care less. I did, the bare minimum. It was locked down. I didn't get a haircut. I'm like, I'm not doing any of that. And then I was in the deep end, thrown into TV again, and it's like, oh my god.
I think you look great. Oh
Thank
my
you.
goodness. You look, you know what? There's a bottom line. We all look good. We all shine from the inside out. Let's not reverse that order and be starting just with the outside. It's what's coming from the inside that in the end really makes us beautiful. And that's the lasting kind of beauty we want to have. So let's let Rebecca inspire us to get out there and do more and be more and just consider ourselves all hot mamas, whatever our age is. So there you go,
Absolutely.
right?
Absolutely. Like I said, that's my latest kind of I'm posting a lot now too is the that women who have whether or not you're a grandmother, if you're blessed to be a grandmother, I am so jealous of you. But grandma hobbies, it is proven that grandma hobbies are the key to happiness. Gen Z and millennials are starting to realize that needlepoint, crochet, gardening,
Mm,
bird watching, all of these things that maybe our grandmothers did are the key to living in the moment and happiness. So right now I'm working on a cut flower garden. I have never done this before. Again, I have
Oh,
never done this
love it.
before. So I'm trying. I'm trying. I'm
I
learning.
think that's great, guys. So yeah, those of you who have got green thumbs, let's be out there and use them, because those of us who have black thumbs will really enjoy seeing what you're growing. So, well, guys, we don't want to keep Rebecca too much later here, but I do want to thank her again for joining us. And thank you, all of you. I apologize for the technical difficulties. Somehow there were gremlins in the internet tonight, and I know I've still got some echo going, and I apologize for that. But at least we're all here and we had a good time, hopefully. And wasn't it great to see Rebecca? Oh my gosh, I hope she's inspired all of you. And we'll be back again next Monday doing more fun stuff, hopefully on time without
Well,
technical
thank you, and
difficulties.
I appreciate you being patient with the technical stuff and inviting me. This is was so nice of you. You are such an inspiration. I love your books. I love the latest cover that I just got your new book into the office. I think we're
Oh,
having one, and I
fun.
was like, oh, this is just gorgeous. It's
Oh,
so
that's
good.
too cute. Oh my gosh, that's really fun. Well, I'm just so glad. And I'm going to, I was going to say goodbye to our Instagram people, but even the technology, you guys might be here forever because I can't. Oh, heaven help me. I want a tech person. I want my own TV station. That's what
I
I
tell you,
want.
that is nice. When I'm on TV, I have a producer who handles the tech stuff, and it's like,
This is just amazing that I'm having so much problems tonight, you guys. It's just like, but those of you, there it is. I found my spot. Okay. Those of you who've been doing these a while with me know that in Sheila Land, this often happens, but we roll with punches around here. So first we're going to say bye to our fabulous Insta people who joined us. Thank you so much. If you missed part of this, it will be up on YouTube, echoes and all, and you can catch up on what you missed. So thank you for so much for joining us. It's been great. And we'll say a special goodbye also to my gang here on Facebook. Thanks, guys, for always being so supportive. And I know you're going to want to check out Rebecca's book. So you guys have a great rest of the week. See you next Monday live at 5.